Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. ASEAN families, I hope you guys are doing good. You're keeping yourselves safe, keeping yourselves healthy. And, it's a very beautiful day today. Too bad you can't enjoy it. But you can, it's good to get outside. The best way, if you're feeling stressed out and you're feeling like everything's just caving in on you, in the morning after Salat Fajr, get outside and do your dhikr. By doing that, this will help you relax. It'll help you kind of focus, and it helps you just kind of plan the day, plan what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, and in a safe and a healthy way. Anyways, today's verse is in Surah Baqarah, Surah number 2, verse number 41. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وآمنوا بما أنزلت مصدقا لما معكم, and believe in that which I have revealed as it affirms that which is with you. ولا تكونوا أول كافر به, and don't be the first ones to disbelieve in it. ولا تشتروا بآياتي ثمنا قليلا, and do not exchange my verses or my signs for a paltry or a cheap price. وإياي فاتقون, and it is me only that you should fear. So what used to happen in Medina, the illiterate Arabs, they would, which was at that time the vast majority of them, they would go to the Jews, the Bani Israel, and they would ask them to give them something for protection or for blessings. And what they would do is the rabbis would take like small pieces of leather and they would write verses of the Torah on it, and then they would fold it and then they would sell it to them. Right? They would sell it to the Arabs to do whatever it is that they wanted to do. And so this verse was revealed in response to this practice of theirs. If you look into this verse, there are a couple of interesting things. In the very beginning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them, وَآمِنُوا بِمَا أَنزَلْتُ مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا مَعَكُمْ, believe in that which we have revealed as it affirms that which is with you. Now the verse before that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking the Bani Israel, Ya Bani Israel, اذكروا نعمتي التي أنعمت عليكم, that, children of Israel, O the Bani Israel, remember my favors that I bestowed upon you. What you're going to notice is that with the people of the previous scriptures, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always reminds them of the favors that He bestowed upon them in order to entreat them and bring them to Islam. Whereas with the Ummah Muhammadiyah, with us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to recognize Him, right, directly, recognize Allah directly, because that ilm, that knowledge of the ma'rif of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will eventually lead you to recognizing His bounties and His blessings. Right? And that's how you get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's a very interesting little detail that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with them, our relationship with Allah is very direct. Like He asks us directly to recognize Him because that's how we recognize His favors. And with them, the people of the previous scriptures, Allah's asking them to recognize the bounties first, His blessings first, what He gave them, and then recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which was more of an indirect relationship. So that's the first thing. The second, Allah's asking, وَلَا تَكُونُوا أَوَّلَ كَافِرٍ بِهِ, don't be the first ones to disbelieve, which means, because they were the people of the book, and everybody in Arabia respected the Jews because they were people of knowledge, they were people of scripture. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is telling them, because now they have a huge responsibility upon them, if they believe, then most other people will believe. And if they disbelieve, that will make, that will really put a lot of people off. Now, because they have the previous scriptures, if they are the first ones to, because you might be thinking, what's the difference whether you're the first or the last one to disbelieve? Kufr is kufr. Disbelief is disbelief. Doesn't matter whether you're the first one or the last one to do it. But the point here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to make is that if you are the first one to do something bad, do something wrong or evil, then you not only get the sin that you have committed, but you also incur the weight and the burden of everyone else who sins after you. So if you do something wrong and other people do something wrong because they see you and they're trying to emulate you, you're going to get their sin as well. They'll have their share, but then you're also going to incur what they've done. But this also works the other way around. If you are the first one to do something good, right, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and other people see you and they emulate you because what if you have done, you will get the reward of everyone else who does the same thing. They'll get their share of the reward, but you will get an extra one for them following you. So Allah is asking them here not to be the first ones to do something wrong, because by being the first one of doing something wrong, especially since everyone is looking for what their response is going to be, then in essence they will basically be responsible for everybody else's disbelief in kufr as well. So, and this is important because we don't often realize that. But I'll get back to that in a little bit. Then the final part of the verse, وَلَا تَشْتَرُوا, which is the main reason for this verse, and do not sell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's verses. What they were doing was that they were using, for them, their worldly interest came first. Their worldly interest, their dunya, that came first above and beyond anything else. Everything else was secondary to that. So what they were also doing is they would sometimes compromise in their interpretations, in their legal rulings, in order to appeal to the hearts of the people, right? And to attract them so that they can make more money. Not necessarily for takhfif or to make it easy, but just so that they can make more money. And that was the whole objective. So in essence, they're using their religion, their faith, and their scripture in order to just basically continue with their business and make money and profit off it. And this is something that, it's obviously, now people may be asking, okay, what about, what's the difference between that and our own, Quran teachers or imams who may be doing something similar? This is a very big difference because one, on the other hand, our imams and our Quran teachers, they're mainly, we don't have an Islamic government that pays their salary or anything like that, and they're spending their time. Oftentimes, they're taking away time that they could be using to earn a living in another place, and there are people who need to fulfill these responsibilities. So they're just doing it as in order to kind of be able to teach and spread the deen, but their main objective is really to spread the deen, not necessarily themselves. Otherwise, you can make a lot more money doing other things. So, but to summarize this verse, number one, sometimes we see things and we don't value it. We'll just kind of jump into things without understanding what it is that we're doing. Sometimes we'll do something wrong, and because it's trendy and everyone else is doing it, or maybe something that appeals to us, so what happens is that we just start doing it without realizing that, because of us, maybe our children will follow through. Maybe our siblings will follow through, younger siblings. Maybe other people, they'll see, he's doing it, why shouldn't I do the same thing? So other people will also begin to do things, and even though for us, it may have started as like a moment of just pleasure, just something you have to have fun with. But in the end, what results in that is we start to incur everyone else's bad deeds. But also works the other way around. You do something good, you're the first one to donate to your masjid, you're the first one to pray. You walk in the masjid, you start praying, you start reading Quran. Other people see you and they start doing the same thing. Maybe you see a homeless person, you start helping them out, right? You start a service. You're the first one to do it, you will get everyone's reward. So don't just undermine or underlook things. Be careful, think things through before you do them. And number two, it doesn't always have to be monetary, where a person is selling a verse or a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or selling the religion. It could be in many other ways and shapes and forms. And we often do that on a daily, on a regular basis, where we don't value the signs, or we don't value our deen, our faith, and we prioritize other things over our deen, our faith, or we don't value them, or we don't really protect and honor them as we should. And this is another way of selling yourself short, selling your iman, your faith short, right? Where you're not giving it its due respect, and you're not, giving it its due honor. And this is something that we also have to be very careful about. That if we're selling our faith and selling ourselves short, either because of a lack of knowledge, or just a lack of understanding, then these are things that we have to be very careful about. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and save us from making these types of mistakes and following in the footsteps of the people who have made these mistakes already. And may Allah keep us on the righteous path. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.